Welcome. I'm Larry King, host of In View, an educational series dedicated to sharing information about the world around us. Throughout this series, we'll explore the significant issues impacting our lives today and discover how we're preparing for the future.
With the subprime lending scandal of the big banks and government-run entities such as Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the world of home loans can be a very risky, confusing, and subsequently frustrating one. When buying a home in America today, the mortgage agreement more closely resembles a copy of the federal tax code than a simple contract to purchase a home. The complexity of these contracts is not going unnoticed by some in the business of lending folks money to buy their family a place to call home.
What we're seeing in the mortgage industry is that the guidelines have gotten tougher. The underwriting criteria and the proof of the borrower's ability to repay, as well as all the regulatory reforms that have come down, have made the mortgage process more difficult, more onerous, and more detailed. Probably the biggest surprise to a client going through a mortgage today is going to be the number of questions and the detail in which we look at things. So in other words, if we were to present a bank statement for a down payment, any unusual deposits would have to be sourced. Any income that we saw going in there that wasn't a part of your tax return or your paycheck stub, there's going to be questions along those lines. Credit inquiries, if we've seen a credit report and there may be a credit inquiry, we're going to want to know, did you get more credit? Did you get that car loan? And so you're going to just understand that there's going to be more questions. There's going to be a little more work in the process, but if you know that going in, you know that we're not picking on you. It's just part of the game.
As the late poet Maya Angelou stated, the ache for a home lives in all of us, the safe place where we can go as we are and not be questioned. For most Americans, a home is the most expensive purchase they'll ever make, and it quickly carries with it a huge sentimental value. It is more than a roof, more than needed shelter from the elements for your family. It is where children come home as newborns and grow up too quickly before our eyes. It's where memories are made, where life happens. For first-time home buyers, there's a lot of intimidating terminology that can cause anxiety during a process which should be a very joyous occasion.
I feel like I have seen it on both sides of the fence now. I've been in the real estate industry for 10 years. I do this every single day. I walk clients through their lending process every day. But when it came to my own home, I was so nervous. I lost sleep. I was misunderstanding interest rates. I didn't know what documents to get. I didn't have the time to shuffle paperwork back and forth, or make sure that my lender was getting a certified great appraiser to value my home. This is a huge investment, and I didn't want anything to fall through the cracks. I was so nervous, and I do this every single day.
For independent and local financial institutions such as Citywide Home Loans and CHL Mortgage in Salt Lake City, Utah, it's always been about doing what's right, and in a simple, neighborly sort of way. With humble beginnings in the basement of his condominium in 1998, Steve Goorman began Citywide as a small, personalized mortgage organization to give borrowers in his community the loans they needed without being treated like just another number. Today, Citywide Home Loans walks people through the mortgage process, explaining every jot and tittle in a way that removes the apprehension and fear and puts the joy back into the home buying experience.
We've developed a process and a system and a series of people to take the anxiety and the intimidation out of the mortgage loan process. We basically want to hold your hand the entire way. It's emotional and stressful and the unknown for most people. We use a lot of jargon that doesn't make any sense. So we have put the people in place and the systems to keep you reassured all the way from the beginning to the end, where you get your keys, that you're on track, that there's nothing unusual, and everything that we're asking for is just the mortgage business these days. It's nothing for you to worry about. It's nothing for you to be worried that you're not going to get your home. Our goal is to get you happy and smiling with keys at the end of 30 days. And sadly, there are about 29 entities or people that are involved in the typical purchase transaction, not a complicated one, an average one. So we have put the right people in place, originators and production staff, to make sure that it is as painless as possible for you. We guide you, we reassure you that this is normal, even though we're asking for a lot of things. That is the normal of the mortgage business right now. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you or your transaction. It's just what we have to do. And we will tell you where you are throughout the entire process. We have this many more steps to go, you have one more step to go, whatever it is, so that you know that you're getting there. And at the end, you get to move into your new home and take the keys and smile and be happy.
The reason I chose and have been choosing Citywide for most of my real estate career is because I trust how my clients are treated, and now I saw for myself how they will hold your hand, they will answer your questions, whether they're silly or not, whether you forget your interest rate or want to figure out if you should lock it lower. It is a support and a trust and a team organization that I felt like they had my back. And I didn't have to worry about that. I was able to figure out, who my neighbor was going to be, and how soon I could get into my house. And I'm not worrying if I'm going to close on time. I gave them a closing date, and I knew that date would be met.
To learn more about Citywide Home Loans, visit their website at www.chl.cc or call them at 801-713-2400.